Have you ever wondered why some English words are spelled differently from the way they are pronounced? Have you ever thought of that before? Has that thought ever crossed your mind? Yeah, seeing that some words are spelled differently from the way they are pronounced. Also, have you ever written a text message or maybe tried to type an email or tried to type a letter and you see this red line under some words that you have typed out or written out, and those red lines simply shows that the words you have written out or typed out are incorrect? Well, my name is Juliet from English Prep Class, and in today's video, I'll be sharing some tips on how you can know how to spell correctly for your English exams or for whatever you want to do, but make sure that those words that you're using are spelled correctly. Stay with me to the end of this video and I will show you just how you're going to do that. So basically, what I'll be sharing today are simple tips that will help you know how to spell words. Some words will require double consonants before the end of the words. Some words will require you take out the Y and add I. Some words will require that you take out the E and add other suffixes to the end of the words. Or sometimes you need to leave the E and continue writing the other suffixes. So basically, English language can be a bit confusing. Now, this is I'm going to be sharing today. There are still some exceptions to most of the rules. However, these other ones I'm going to be sharing are meant to help you to know how to spell basic words that you will need so you don't get confused when you're writing out those words. I quite understand that during the exam that you might make one or two mistakes because you might have some exam fright. But if you know these rules that I'm going to be sharing here today on how to spell, and if you practice them very well before the day of your exam, you're just going to get those codes. Now, what informed me to do this video are two things. Number one, my 8-year-old daughter, she was talking about these rules and I'm like, wow, I've met some people before that want to write the Pearson test of English, and they asked me if I could teach them how to spell, and I'm like, oh, I'll try, but I didn't really remember those rules. And then secondly, my students too, that some of them that when we do the task, maybe tasks like they'll fill in the blanks in the listening module, which is the last module in the Pearson test of English, they make mistakes in their spelling. Maybe someone will write maybe if they want to write happened or happening, they will just write one P, or if they want to write occurring, they'll write one C. So those are the things I'm going to be teaching in today's video that is going to help you to be able to put your words together, know when to put double P or double consonants in your word, and know when to put I instead of Y and all that. So make sure you stay to the end of this video. You can keep replaying this video over and over again. It's just going to help you build up your word knowledge on how to spell. Now, the first rule will be the I comes before E, except for C. It's a general rhyme or a popular rhyme we used to know back in the day when we were in grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. Yeah, not to undermine anyone, okay? These are memory refreshers, trying to take you back to those times when we were in grade 1 or primary schools, or they call them grade 1 or grade 2 here in Australia. Now, I comes before E, except when there's a C. What do I mean? I simply mean that in most words, you basically have I and E instead of E and I. Yes, these are easily confused words or easily misspelled words in the exam. Now, example of such words would be words like hygiene. Now, you can see that with Hygiene, not Hygiene. Another such word that is popularly misspelled is believe. Believe is Belie. So you see, when there is IE in a word, you find out that I comes before E, except when there is a C before IE. That's when you get E before I. Henceforth, or you should know that I comes before E rather than E comes before I. So when you see a word like believe and there's no C in it, remember what I'm teaching you today, that I will come before the E. Words like hygiene, words like friend, I will come before the E. Words like achieve, these are simple words or common words that we use every day. So when you're going to be spelling such words as achieve, remember it's I before E and not E before I. Now, I'm going to also look at some words that when you have C, then E will come before I. Understand? The first one I talked about was I coming before E. And remember the rule says I comes before E except C. Now, when there is C, it means that E will come before I. Example of such words so that you understand will be words like ceiling, which is cieling. Yeah, ceiling. So it's not CIE, it's also CEILING. Ceiling is CEI, not CI, because C is coming before E and I. So definitely E will come before I in such words. Now, another of such word that is popular is deceive. Deceive will be spelled as DECEIVE. Now, C is there again, so it can't be CIE, it will be CEIVE. Yes. I mean, English language is so vast. There are a lot of things we need to know. Then another word that is also popularly misspelled is receive. It sounds like believe. However, there is a C. Remember. So once there is a C, I won't come before E. E will come before I, and then VE, which is receive. So you'll be having RECEIVE. Another word is receipt. It will be RECEI. So next time you're going to be spelling the word receipt, remember this lesson that Juliet said once there is a C, there is not supposed to be I. The next word should be an E. Do you know why I'm doing this? Now, there's a popular task in the PTE listening, which is fill in the blanks. That word, you will hear an audio, and that audio, as the audio reads, there will be some blanks in between the sentences that the audio is reading out. And you're supposed to put the correct spelling of words there. Now, the reason why people fail these words, not because they didn't hear the words accurately. Of course, they do hear the words accurately, but because they make these mistakes in the spelling, or maybe they don't even listen to either the plural form of words used or the singular form of words used. So that's one of the things why, or one of the reasons why I'm making this video. So remember the rule, I comes before E, except for C, except after C. That means that after C, E will come before I. However, remember when I first started, I said something like exceptions. There are some exceptions in English language, and especially when the word have the I sound, that's AY, and such example of word is so words like wait, eight, that's AY, sounding like that, AY. Another example is vain, A. You know, it sounds like AY or EY. So once you hear the words like vain, A, wait, eight, that word, then something like neighbor, A, you can hear that sound again, A. So E will come before I. Now there's no C here. So these are exceptions to the first rule I have shared, which is a popular rule that many grade 2 or grade 3 students or grade 2 pupils or 3 pupils know over here. Yeah, I hope this makes sense to you. Now this will take me to the second rule, the CVC rule. I love that rule because it's going to just help anyone out there, or it has really helped me to know how to know when there is double of consonant words in the word I spelled. Now, what do I mean? The CVC simply stands for consonant, vowel, consonant. That means that, remember in English language, we have vowels and we have consonant. The vowels will be A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. That's 5 of them. Then the remaining letters of the alphabet will be consonants. So once you have the CVC, that means that if you have a single word like a word like, let's say dad, D-A-D. D is a consonant. A there is a vowel. And the last word D is a consonant. Then if we want to add it more to make it like make it more formal, we'll say daddy. So we have D-A-D-D-Y. That's how you know how to spell daddy. So daddy will not be D-A-D-Y. You understand? So the CVC means once you have a consonant, then a vowel, then another consonant. Just know that you have to double the last consonant in that word. I'll say it again. The CVC rule simply says that if you have a consonant, vowel, and consonant, you have to make the last consonant to be twice, or you have to repeat it. For instance, a word like clapping. If you want to spell, if you have clap and they say put ing in it, it's not going to be C-L-A-P-I-N-G. Remember, C-L-A, there's A, which is a vowel. There's already a C, which is a consonant. Then there is P, which is a consonant. So remember the rule, once there's a vowel before a consonant in a word, if you now want to make the word, maybe you want to add ing or other suffixes to it, it will simply become double of that consonant that is the last word of the word. That means clapping will have double P, that is C-L-A-P-P-I-N-G. That is the way you can know how to spell this one. Another example, why I'm doing a lot of examples is so that you understand how this thing works. An example is running, or let's say the word run. Sometimes people don't know that running will have double N. So they write run, and when they say make it, say spell running, they just put RUNING, which is not supposed to be. Okay, so remember the CVC rule. Run, R is consonant, U is vowel, and N is another consonant. And the rule says once a vowel comes after the last consonant of the word, you have to double the last consonant. That means you have to have two of those last consonants of the last word when you want to write another version of the word. So that means for running, you have RUNNING. These are simple rules that will make you know how to spell. Now, this brings me to rule number 3, the Y rule. Yeah, so for this Y rule, what you basically have here is when Y comes after a consonant, it will change to I. So, for example, a word like angry, that's ANGRY. Y is coming after the consonant R. Now, if I want to write another form of that word, if they tell me to spell angrier, I'm just going to remove the Y and put I in the place of Y. So my spelling will become ANGRIER. So I have removed the Y from the first word, which is angry, ANGRY. So this rule simply says that when Y comes after a consonant in a word, and I'm asked to spell another form of the word, then I'll have to take off the Y and put I in its place. Now there's another rule too for Y, actually when the Y comes after a vowel. Remember, I've already talked about what a vowel is. That's the A, E, I, O, U. Of 26 letters that make up the alphabet, there are just 5 vowels, the A, E, I, O, U. Now I'm saying here that when Y comes after a vowel, that the Y will still remain there. Even if you're going to be adding suffix to the end of that word will still have Y in it. Example, a word like employ, EMPLOY. If they ask me to spell employing, it's still going to be EMPLOYING. So if the Y is coming after a vowel, I'm not going to take out the Y or drop the Y. The Y is still going to be part of the word I'm asked to spell. Another example is pray. They ask me to write praise. It's going to be PRAYS. So I'm not going to be changing the Y to I. This is because the Y is coming after a vowel. Pray is PRAY. A is a vowel. That's why if I'm asked to write praise, I'm not going to take away the Y. It's still going to be PRAYS. But in the first Y rule, if the Y is coming after a consonant, for instance, a word like ability, TY, those are the last letters of the spelling of ability. And I'm asked to spell abilities. It's going to be ABILITIES. It's not ABILITYES. This is because the Y is coming after the consonant T. So it's going to be changed to I. For the vowel, the Y will remain there. A word like delay, DELAY. Remember, A is a vowel and it's coming before Y. So I'm not going to drop the Y. I'm just going to, if they ask me to spell delays, it's just going to be DELAYS and not DELAIES. I hope this makes sense to someone. Now, the next rule is dropping the E rule, and this simply means that when a word ends in E and you want to add a suffix that begins with a vowel, remember, a suffix is just like a group of words that they add to the base form of word to make it sound better. For instance, a word like love or love, love, that's LOVE, and then we'll say something like lovable, or a word like and we'll say likeable. So like is the base form of word. Then once we add likeable, that is ABLE, we are adding a suffix to that word. So the rule says here, when you're adding E to a suffix that begins with a vowel, for instance, love, and you want to add able, which is a suffix, ABLE. Now you're going to take out that E in love. So it's not going to be L-O-V-E-A-B-L-E. The E will be taken off. This is because the E is going to be added to a suffix. So the E will be taken off and the suffix will stand. That will be, the spelling for the lovable is just going to be L-O-V-A-B-L-E. So it's not going to be L-O-V-E-A-B-L-E. This is because the suffix is starting with a vowel. Another example here is care. If they ask me to spell caring, I'm going to be adding the suffix ing. The base word is care, which is C-A-R-E. And the suffix they want me to add to the spelling is ing. And I is a vowel, So the rule says as long as there's going to be a suffix that is beginning with a vowel, I'm going to take out the E. So caring is going to be C-A-R-I-N-G and not C-A-R-E-I-N-G. Another example is use, and they want me to spell usage. Usage, that's the way it's called. But if you go put U-S-E-A-G-E, that's a totally different word, to be usage, which is not the right way that word is spelled. So if I'm asked to write usage or join the audio in the fill in the blanks, and there's a word like usage, or in my writing I want to write the usage of something, I'm not going to be writing U-S-E-A-G-E. I'm going to take out the E because the suffix A-G-E I'm adding is already starting with a vowel, that is A. So I'm going to take out the E, which will be U-S-A-G-E. Usage. That's the word. I hope this makes sense. Now the next one, still for the E part, for the dropping of the E. For this one, this B part, which is why I say that the English language is dynamic. It says that once the suffix starts with a consonant, the E will stay. Listen, the first one was the suffix is starting with a vowel, the E will be taken off from that word. The second rule says here, if the suffix is starting with a consonant, the E will remain. Example, useful. That is use. Then the suffix I'm adding is full. U-S-E-F-U-L. Useful. So that use, which is the first one, U-S-E, is still there. Then useful, the F, which is part of the suffix, which is beginning the suffix, is a consonant. So it's going to be useful. U-S-E-F-U-L. Two words together. Another example is careful. Careful. So because F is a consonant, I'm not going to drop the E in care. I'm going to add them together because the E is going to be added to a suffix that begins with a consonant, which is F, F-U-L. So I'm adding them, joining them together, careful. Another example is like. Maybe I'm asked to write likely. So L-Y is the suffix and L is a consonant. So I'm not going to drop the E in like. I'm going to leave it while I add the suffix L-Y. So I'm having L-I-K-E-L-Y. So you see, these rules are very important. If you remember them, if you practice them, you'll find out that you'll be able to spell many words, actually basic words that you can use or will use in an everyday conversation. You find out that you'll be able to spell them. Okay? So this is it for this particular video. There are many other rules, but I'm not going to be delving into them. I just taught you the simple rules that you can just use for the sake of your exam or for the sake of you writing emails and letters and text messages to your friend. I know we love doing a lot of abbreviations in our text messages, but I think it's high time we started writing out those words in full so that I will know how those words are spelled. Okay guys, if you have not followed me on Instagram, remember to follow me on Instagram at English_prep_class and on Facebook at English Prep Class. Then remember to hit the subscribe button. Go watch my other videos. I have videos like grammar rules. I have videos on pronunciation, videos that can help you know how to pronounce words like a native English speaker. And then this video is a very good video. So I will need you to listen to this video, play it and play. You can even share it to your friends, your children, or whoever you know that will really need it. It's going to be helpful to anyone. Even me teaching this video today, I'm still learning more words while I teach this video. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Remember to turn on your notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.